Should I introduce myself?
Yeah. Hello everybody, this is the Loon, LPC Loon Cam post-nest exam.
Hi, I'm Ashley Keenan and I'm the field crew coordinator at LPC. I'm here with Jaden Jink, a former LPC seasonal biologist who is here volunteering for a few days. We're going to take a look at the nest. We know from the video that the parents, neither parent, have been on the egg since about 7 o'clock last night. So we're going to do an egg exam, and if it seems like the egg is inviable, we're gonna take the egg back to LPC, where we archive the egg and can use it for different research in the future. So there's definitely no pip in the egg, so we know that there was no chick attempting to hatch at this time. And given the weight, and feels pretty sloshy and cold, that I think we can confidently say that the egg is inviable, so we're going to take it with us. It's LPC protocol that when found, when you find an egg on a nest, typically what we like to do is to mark an egg and then revisit the egg in 24 hours to see if the parents have moved that egg or rolled that egg. We don't need to do that in this situation because of this being on camera. We've had eyes on it. But if you find an egg in the wild, it is important that you mark the egg and then revisit it 24 hours later to see if it's been turned. And it's always good to contact LPC before touching an egg, and even more important to wear, your rubber gloves and safety, protection, not to contaminate the egg or to, keep yourself safe.
So what's the reason for the rubber gloves when you do this?
Well, again, we're keeping the egg from contaminating the egg with, the oils from our hands, things such as that. We do test these eggs. Certain eggs get tested for, like I said, for different research. And so by using a rubber glove, we know that we're not contaminating it with anything that we might have on our skin, as well as we're not being contaminated by what could be on the egg.
So I think, I know everybody put in some questions, but the questions seem to have rolled off my YouTube screen. So if you please just copy paste them back in again, we'll start from there. Ashley is cleaning out the shells and stuff.
The other thing we do is we keep the egg shells. This also goes into the LPC archive. For what could be future research, or if we have to revisit a site or have questions in the future, we will have the eggshells.
Ashley, is it normal for one egg to hatch?
Yeah, I think it's normal for one egg to hatch and the other one to not hatch. I can't say for sure the percentage of nests that happens. Jaden, would you know?
No, I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know the exact percentage where one egg hatches and the other one does not, or is not viable. But I would say, yeah, it's fairly common.
So, what's the consistencies? Do you think it's normal thickness of the shells? Is it thin, thick?
Right now, the egg seems like fairly normal. It just is heavier, which makes me feel that there's not, a chick where it would be lighter. There's not a developed chick in there. What we're going to do when we get back to LPC is we're going to take an x-ray of the egg and see if we can identify any sort of fetus in there or what have you.
Can an egg ever be unfertilized, so like it never starts incubating at all?
I think so. Can it? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly.
I'm not 100%. I know that we have eggs. Certainly we have loon pairs that nest yearly, and they overset on the eggs. There just seems like the eggs are never viable year after year. So I think that is a question that crosses our mind is, one of the pair members not fertile to begin with, and why is it that some eggs are not fertilized?
So there's with the camera down, how will we know what develops with this egg? Ask Gail, and I think the answer there is pretty obvious. You sign up for the LPC's newsletter.
Yeah.
It's a free newsletter. You sign up on the loon.org website, and that newsletter is sent out, like every month during the season and every quarter afterwards, and that can have pictures in it and things like that. So we'll ask, Caroline's the editor of that, or are you the editor of that?
Caroline will be the editor, or Harry. So yeah, what we'll do is we, after we take x-rays of this egg, we'll certainly, if there's findings, let people know.
So what's your thoughts about the loon knowing that the egg isn't viable? Is it that they know it's been 48 hours and they probably shouldn't hatch it anyway, or do you think they don't feel it? Any thoughts there?
It's probably a little bit of a combination of both. I mean, we know that egg hatched 48 hours ago. 48 hours ago, and so after that time, I mean, the parents have to make a decision because, you got to start caring for the one that did hatch. So that, the newly hatched chick is going to start, peeping and needing food and all that. So after 48 hours, I think the parents have to, move on to caring for the chick and less being so attentive to the nest, to staying close to the nest.
So does LPC ever ban chicks?
Rarely. We certainly wouldn't ban them this young, but as they get towards a fledging age, if they are captured, we would ban them. If we were to rescue one, we would ban them. And that has to do with some confidence that their tarsus is done growing, and we can make sure that we have the proper band that will fit it as it
Right, it has to be a lifetime band, right?
Yeah, as it grows into an adult.
Yeah.
So
this question is about thoughts about the nest quality. This was obviously a goose nest before it became a loon nest.
Yeah.
You renovated it pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is this is a beautiful bowl, and as far as nest quality, loons couldn't ask for a better substrate to be on.
I'm going to take a picture. Well, actually, I can't take a picture and keep my YouTube.
I mean, there's definitely enough material on that raft. I think it's a great bowl. This is beautiful.
This one has challenges because of the rock and rolling going on with all the wake.
Sure.
And we've seen when this nest had a lot less material in it, we've seen eggs start to roll off, and the loons had to recover it and so forth. So,
I mean, ideally with these loon rafts, over time, growth starts to it starts to become its own little habitat. So you get plants that grow back. And as that sort of takes form, then you get the ultimate loon raft, because the substrate doesn't fall off with wake and boat rock and stuff like this. This is one, because it's one that we maintain for the loon camera, we can certainly ensure that there's enough nest material and help that along, as we did when the goose got off. There's a quick rehab, a quick makeover.
Yes.
To just try to ensure that the loons had the best.
Can you, do you know the history of this couple?
I don't overly know the history of this couple. I couldn't tell you what year they were banded. This is my 3rd year at LPC. This is the same whaleback couple that has been here
for all 3 years.
For the time that I've been here. I'm sure there's even a greater history to that.
Yeah.
And that's something that we could provide more information with the egg and stuff.
My understanding is this is, not this particular nest, but this location is one of LPC's first nests ever. You know, and so it's calling it the LPC Hilton sometimes because it has so many different tenants as the years go on.
Sure, yeah.
And I know it was maybe right before you got here, there was a territorial dispute. There were 5 loons around, and nobody ended up taking the nest, and so there was, you know, it just didn't happen. But that's the first time, or maybe the second or third time in like 20 years that had happened. And so we had 2 chicks here last year.
Yep.
And then, well, one
and the
chick.
year before, I think we had 2 maybe hatched and 1 survived.
Yeah. Last year, I think 1 survived as well.
Survived as well, yeah. So, and that's bound to happen, you know, in any territory. I would think every few years somebody's going to come in and test how good they're holding it down.
Well, we saw that in Loon Cam 1 as well. Last year, there was no nesting.
Yeah.
And then a new female came this year, and unsuccessfully, but at least it was, you know, maybe next year she'll have better luck.
Yeah, that loon seemed like maybe she was getting familiar with the nesting process.
Right.
And was new to rafts or what have you, her territory.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, with experience they get better at what they're doing.
So somebody wonders about my T-shirt. This is Peace, Love, and Loons, New Hampshire. And this is, you can get this from the Loon store at the Loon Center, and probably worth putting in a plug for the both the survey coming up, the census coming up on Saturday morning, as well as the Loon Festival Saturday afternoon. Do you want to give some details on the census for people that want to participate in that?
So for the census, if you want to participate, yes, you can contact LPC, or you can go on our website and there's information on how to participate. And basically we, you know, given the body of water that you're on, there's a certain amount of time allotted for volunteers to go out, kind of stay in one area and count how many loons are seen, and then you report that information back to us. And it's super helpful for us. Given how much we're monitoring, to also see what our volunteers are seeing out there.
Yeah, as I remember, there's both an online form that you can go onto on loon.org. I mean, I don't know where the menu it is.
Yeah, it's on there for sure.
And you can. There's also a PDF that you can download and fill that out and drop it off or mail it in.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I think it's an hour.
I encourage everyone. Yeah,
I think it's only a 1 hour period, and I participated last year. I saw a couple loons and reported them.
Yeah.
I've got a gaggle of what's a bunch of loons called? It's not a gaggle.
It's called an asylum.
An asylum. Okay, I've got an asylum of 6 loons that I keep seeing, and it just recently turned into 7. And at night they just go crazy. You know, they're all like harassing each other, and you know, so it's been a lot of fun for that. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, we have our loon pair out there out that way, calling away. So somebody's mentioning an eagle around here, and we did see an eagle about a week ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think I mean I haven't noticed it on the camera ever since then. And the loons, I mean the loon flushed the day that we saw the eagle. It was sitting actually on a rock back there, or in the muck.
Yep.
And but we haven't seen the eagle harassing the loon chick at all.
I haven't seen the eagles harassing the loons this season, but I mean there's definitely an eagle pair that reside in this area of the lake. So the loons are pretty well equipped for that. And with any luck, you know, the eagle will just find other things to eat. And leave our loons alone.
Yeah, really.
You know, I can't foretell what the eagles are going to do day to day, and
it can be eagles, let the loons be loons, right? So somebody asked me a question in Spanish. Anybody speak Spanish? I don't, so I can't. Sorry, I recognize original to LPC. Sorry. Do you know what happened to that one loon last year in this nest? You know, we ended up with one surviving and one my understanding, it was taken by an eagle on its way to the breeding ground.
I believe so, yeah. So
Some-
we had gotten a report from volunteers that had seen the eagle being harassing the pair and taking one of the chicks.
Yeah, they both swam off. It's just that one didn't make it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any other questions that, if I only knew Spanish, I could answer. Okay, well, I think we've answered everybody's questions. The question was actually a response, so we'll have to run that through Google Translate later.
Oh, okay. And find out what it was.
I'm sorry, I speak English and programming languages, and that's about it.
Very small amount of French.
Yeah. Great. Well, I think we're set. What I'm going to do is once I get home, I don't know if we're going to X-ray this today or not. If we get a chance to do that, we'll do that before I head home, and then I'll be able to give you a report on what the X-ray was.
Yeah, what it revealed.
And if we're not able to do that today, I'll be shutting the camera off before 5, most likely, and then we'll make sure the information's in the newsletter.
Yeah, that sounds real good.
Great. Well,
So,
thank you, everybody. It's been a great
Thank you for
season. The
having
chatters
us.
have been great, and we'll see you next May, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm going to take a picture in here before we go.
Yeah. I think we'll be able to bump it out of here a little bit and then bring the motor off. Okay.
Oh, don't forget to come to my wrap-up presentation at the Loon Center on August 1st at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, and Loon Festival this Saturday.
2 to 6, 2 to 4 maybe, 2 to 4, 10 to 2.
10 to 2.
10 to 2.
10 to 2.
And you get to dunk.
Yes, you'll get to dunk one of our field biologists. Potentially Harry. Maybe we'll put you in there, Bill.
Oh,
We'll
yeah,
see what
I
happens.
better not show up, right?
There'll be food, there'll be arts and crafts, there'll be plenty of people to answer any questions you have. It's a great way to just bring your family out for an event and spend a day with friends and talking about loons.
And Harry, if you're watching this, it's your turn to sit in the dunk seat.
Yeah, Harry, it might be your year. So.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. I know, it's like, maybe you're trying